Hey guys, it's Levi here. I am here today to bring you Francis and I's 3-step methodology for getting off-market land deals. To start off, step number 1, cold call. Step number 2, text. Step number 3, direct mail. There's really only 3 ways to contact someone, so I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. All of these different types of outreach has a specific purpose in the order that I have placed them. And a lot of people tend to do one type of outreach instead of all 3 because they like it a little bit more. And they all have their pros and cons. For example, mail. It by far gets you the highest quality lead of everything. The biggest con, super expensive. Now, texting, it's super easy to text like a million people and you'll get a lot of responses, but your lead quality is easily the worst. Now, cold calling, it's kind of in the middle for both. Like you can have a VA cold call a lot of people. You can do it yourself too. That's what I recommend doing if you have the time to do it. But your lead quality is like smack dab in the middle. Okay, some people are going to think that you're scamming, but it's not as bad as texting, and it's just not as professional as mail. So that's sort of the issue that you're going to run into. And a lot of people tend to go in one direction. So you'll notice like a lot of people only do mail because it generates the highest quality leads. But you'll notice some other people like to do texting because texting, you reach millions of people, right? So again, pros and cons to both, but you really need to hit all 3 if you want to be successful. Because like I said, the people that are making more money than you are, some of them do all 3, but some of them only stick to 1. So you sort of get an edge on top dogs when you do all 3, because if they're not, you need to beat them somehow. Okay? And the way to reach out to people that they haven't reached out to is by cold calling them when they only do mail, right? So that's just one example. But this methodology that we had created, we created it because we just wanted to figure out what the most cost-effective way to do this was, because we started doing this full time, so we wanted to save as much money as possible, and we kind of found something that worked for us, so that's what I'm going to share. So step 1, cold call. When you're cold calling first, there's a couple things that you're going to notice. So right off the bat, you're going to notice it's free, right? You can do it by yourself. You can get phone numbers by yourself. And if you're wondering how to get phone numbers, it's really quite simple, to be honest. You just use one of the many softwares out there that gets phone numbers from public records. My favorite is True People Search. You can also use literally just county records to find phone numbers. But I like True People Search. I think it's fast. I think it's easy. Now, one thing to mention is a lot of the time those phone numbers aren't actually going to be correct, so you're going to have to go and mail them, right? That's why cold calling isn't 100%. So if you have a list of 100 people, maybe half of the phone numbers are going to work, okay? The other half, they're cooked, okay? They're not going to get you on the phone with anyone. It's going to be like, oh, this number has been disconnected when you try calling them. So you're going to go through your list. If you can get on the phone with someone, you're either going to get an answer that they're interested or they're not interested. It's pretty simple. And then if they are interested, you strike a deal with them over the phone. If they're not really interested, then, oh well, you just cross them off your list, okay? So what we like to do for calling, we like to try and get in contact with someone over a 3-day period. So we'll do like day 1, we'll give them a call. If they don't answer, voicemail. Day number 2, I like to not really spam them, but I'll call, and if it goes to voicemail or something, I'll call right back again. And I like doing this because it gets people's attention, because not many people call you twice if you don't answer the first time, right? If you still can't get into contact with them, try again day 3. Okay, day 3, if you still can't get in contact with them, it's a couple things. Maybe they don't answer the phone for random numbers, okay? Second possibility, maybe it's not a working phone number, okay? Third possibility, maybe they're just busy, okay? Now, texting kind of helps from this point. So this is kind of where we go into step number 2, which is texting, because texting is very easy for someone to do if they're busy. And if someone just sees your text on your inquiry to go buy their property, they can easily just text you not interested and just click send, and that's it. They don't have to talk to you on the phone or anything, right? So if I don't get an answer, I send a easy just copy and paste text that I sent to pretty much everyone. I don't personalize it too much. I just add in like kind of where the area is, because a lot of people own multiple land in different areas. So I try to get a little bit specific. And I include their name in the text as well. So it's pretty easy. And if they don't answer from there, I can assume, oh, maybe the phone number doesn't work. Okay, so I still mail those people. Now, a lot of the people, if it is a working phone number, they'll say not interested, or from that point, you can actually hop on the phone with someone. I would never try to do a deal where you're not on the phone with someone, and if you have any sales experience, you'll know that it's always best to talk to someone over the phone because you get to add value to what you're saying. It helps you to kind of get them off of being so defensive. Okay, a lot of people are super defensive when you hit them up and you're like, hey, I want to buy your property. That's just a reality. So if you don't have sales experience, get some, by the way. It's a very important skill. But besides the point, so let's say you have cold called and you have texted and you still can't get in contact with this person, then you know it is a good time to go and send a direct mail. So I don't really have to go into detail with how to send a letter. I'm sure everyone here knows how to send a letter. If you don't, ask ChatGPT. And what you'll notice is, like I said earlier, mail gets you the highest quality leads. And a lot of the time, it's super important because what you'll notice is a lot of people, they'll think that you're scamming if you give them a phone call or shoot them a text. And so mail, it's honestly the most professional looking, which is why it's so important to do. Anyways, we try to save it for last because, again, it is the most expensive. And if you have 100 people on your list, if you cross out 40 names because they're not interested, you struck a deal with them, or for whatever other reason there is, it saves you 40 letters worth of expenses like stamps, envelopes themselves, the paper, the ink from your printer. Me and Francis, we like putting a little picture of us together in there to kind of add just maybe a little bit of trust so they can see what we look like. So those expenses really add up. So we try to stay away from mail for as long as we can, but obviously you have to contact everyone if you really want it to start doing volume. So that's why we do all three. And we created this methodology because, like I said before, it's the cheapest way to get off-market land deals. So if you want to start making money, this is my recommendation for how to get started. Save the most money while you can because you're really only limited by how much money you have. So that's why I think it's so important to start like this and to just keep your money in the bank so you can keep buying more properties. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm going to try to start making weekly videos to help you guys out. And that's really it for now. Peace out, guys.